What is going on, everybody? Chris Albert here with the Warrior Soul podcast. And today I want to talk to you about how to do intermittent fasting without seriously screwing your body up. There's a lot of people who have jumped into intermittent fasting. It's extraordinarily popular right now, but there's also a lot of people who aren't very educated on the subject. So my goal here today is to give you some things that you can take with you so that you can fast properly, gain all the benefits from it, but avoid some of those crazy side effects that happen if you're not doing it properly. Before I do that, as I mentioned, I am the host of the Warrior Soul podcast. This is not the Warrior Soul podcast. This is my YouTube channel where I'm generally coming on talking about health, talking about fitness, talking about mental strength. On the podcast, I am empowering U.S. military veterans and anybody else willing to listen to live their best lives. And we do that by delivering tools, tactics, strategies, and ideas to help them to become stronger, smarter, better, more resilient individuals who are more capable of dominating in life. And generally, I'm talking to somebody who's a lot smarter and more accomplished than I am. I have spoken to Robert Greene on the podcast. I've spoken to Nick Koumoulatsos. Robert Greene was the author of the 48 Laws of Power. Nick Koumoulatsos, he was a Marine Raider, and he's got a massive channel here on YouTube. Really great dude and entrepreneur. So definitely check that out. Go over to iTunes, subscribe. Let me know how you like the show and write us a review. So back to the subject at hand. All right. So intermittent fasting. What should you be doing to ensure that you're gaining all the benefits of it, getting healthier, getting leaner, getting stronger, but not getting weaker, worn out, fatigued, and ending up with hormonal damage? So number one is this. Understand that intermittent fasting is not starving yourself. You are still going to need to eat the baseline amount of calories that it takes to sustain your lean body mass. You're just eating in a window, right? You're having a period of not eating, and then you're eating your normal day's calories in a window. There are far too many people out there who are putting themselves into extreme caloric deficits. Now, the effects of that will vary per person, but particularly if you are a woman or if you're somebody with an extraordinarily fast metabolism, you can put yourself into a situation where you're going to sustain some damage. You're going to put yourself into a situation where you can sustain some hormonal damage, or where you can sustain some damage to your hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. So for women tend to fall into hypothyroidism, right? They fall into hypothyroidism. And what happens there? Well, you're not getting enough calories. And women, based off of their physiology, their bodies, they want to procreate. Their bodies are there in biology. I'm not saying as a person, but there to try to bear children, right? And if you are fasting for too long and you're not eating enough calories, what's going to happen is your body's going to slow down that production of thyroid hormone. And the end result is you could actually gain weight, right? So you don't want to do that. It could also do a whole host of things to your energy, to your mood, and it's not going to be a good situation. For men, what tends to happen there is that if you're not eating enough calories, it'll upregulate your sex hormone binding globulin. Now, what that is a protein that actually binds to your testosterone. Some of you know this. You get two different numbers when you get your testosterone read. That's your total testosterone count and your free testosterone. So when you upregulate sex hormone binding globulin, essentially what you're doing is you're binding up more of your testosterone, and you're going to get a lower free testosterone count. And that can lead to the symptoms of low T, right? Low sexual drive, less muscle mass, more body fat, along with more depression, less energy, and a general feeling of fatigue. So the key here is that you want to make sure that you are eating enough calories. Next, make sure you're hydrating. When you're fasting, your body is also dropping glycogen. And for every gram of glycogen that you lose, you're also losing 3 grams of water. And so if you're not hydrating enough, what can start to happen is, number one, you're going to get a lot of fatigue, right? You're going to feel awful, right? That's going to decrease your performance during your workouts. That is also going to decrease your mental performance at work. You're going to feel very, very slow. You're going to get a lot of brain fog. So make sure that you're hydrating. And remember that water is only half the battle. You're going to also need to make sure that you are loading up on good minerals. A good way of doing that is just by adding a pinch of Himalayan pink salt to every liter of water you drink, and you'll get some great minerals from that, right? So how much water should you drink? I would say at least half your body weight in fluid ounces, plus an additional 10 ounces if you're very active in your training. The next thing is this. A lot of people who fast, well, they get their calories from quote unquote junk calories. And I know that's a little bit of a controversial statement, but here's the thing. If you are fasting and then you're living off of cake and cookies, well, that's not going to do a whole lot of good for your body. And essentially what can start to happen is you can actually become less insulin sensitive. You can actually start to put on weight. And if you're not getting the proper nutrition into your body, that can also, again, mess up your hormones, mess up your digestive system, and lead to a situation where you're putting on weight, you're feeling less energy. So make sure that you're getting the requisite amount of protein, carbs, and fats in your diets, along with also your base minerals, your vitamins, and your micronutrients. You should also be trying to make sure that you are trying to get a good amount of omega-3s in your diet, right? There's a lot of people, when they're breaking their fast, they'll break it with a lot of nuts, a lot of seeds, which are high in omega-6, and that's not bad. Omega-6 is not bad for you, but a lot of us eat too much omega-6 compared to omega-3. Omega-6 raises inflammatory levels, omega-3 lowers inflammatory levels, so they balance each other out. And if you're not eating enough omega-3, you can end up in a situation where you're raising your inflammatory levels, your joints are going to hurt, you're going to have high levels of total body chronic inflammation, you're going to get brain fog, and that could also lead to digestive gut issues and autoimmune issues and a whole host of other issues. So don't neglect your micronutrition, right? Make sure you're getting enough fruits, enough vegetables. Make sure you're getting your omega-3s. If you need to, supplement with a good green supplement. Make sure that you're getting good multivitamin, okay? And that is, I think, about it. Let me think of this. Oh, another big problem that people have when they're in intermittent fasting is they're not really fasting. So we'll get a lot of people who will drink like butter coffee in the morning, or they'll pour milk or sugar into their coffee and they'll think they're fasting. That will break your fast, and that'll take away certain benefits that people want to get from fasting that go beyond just losing weight and losing body fat. So what are those benefits? Well, there's a benefit called cellular autophagy, and through cellular autophagy or apoptosis, essentially what your body does is it cleans out all those diseased cells. It kills them off, and that in turn leads your healthy cells to thrive, to have better messaging systems between them, have clearer messaging systems between them, and that in turn is supposed to increase longevity. The science is still out on that, but if you are breaking that fast with any calories whatsoever, you can completely shut that process down. So again, those are some of the issues out there that I've seen. If you've got questions on this, I know there's probably something I'm missing in this video. Let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Just put them in the comments below. Or you can email me over at chris@warriorsoulagoge.com. I'm also taking on coaching clients at the moment. So if you want a free consultation, I'll sit down with you. I'll take a look at your schedule. I'll take a look at your diet. Sit down with you for about 15 minutes. And no pressure. If you want to work with me after that, awesome. If not, that's cool too. And I'll be back at you later on this week with some more awesome content. So thank you so much for watching. Check out the Warrior Soul podcast, and I'll be back at you real soon. Peace.